What's up, people? This is Chocopie, and that is Louis Bear Senior, man. Alright, people, man. Hope you guys are having a good day. This starts from a nobody, I think, part 12 now. Some days I do this, some days I don't. I got a lot to be blessed about right now, man. I got, like I said on my other video, I got 3K subs on YouTube and stuff, and I'd be a liar if I didn't say I feel good about it, But like I said, we ain't making no money or nothing, so it's all for good and fun right now, man. And honestly, like I said, if only one person could get help by one of these stories of mine, or me reading from this Bible, or whatever I do, that'd be a blessing. Last thing I want is by my actions and stuff that people turn away from God, or people never even come to God, That would be very bad. Anyways, like I said, you don't have to be Christian, to listen to this one. It's Proverbs, Book of Wisdom by Solomon, King Solomon, man. And God asked him, because he was so good, like, what do you want? And he said, give me wisdom. And God blessed him with wisdom. And people in the secular world, that just means non-Christian, is like, they also know King Solomon, man. Now, let's go read Proverbs 6. I kind of cheated. I read a little bit of it. Not just the first couple verses. It says, my son, if you become sturdy for your friend, if you have shaken hands in pledge for a stranger, you are snared by the words of your mouth. And so that means sturdy means, I just read it up, like boasting kind of in agreement or making a promise almost, It's like, it says a feeling of confidence when you say your words. And my goodness, have I done that in my upper 20s and broken it. Now, this is where it gets interesting. It says, number 2, it says, you are snared by the words of your mouth. You are taken by the words of your mouth. Man, I know we don't get through a lot of this, but I just got so many stuff that happened to me throughout my years, man. And I know some of you guys do too. I just remember, I'll tell you this story. There's this business owner in town, right? He's a furniture guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but years back, I used to do business with him. He brought me mattresses to my hotel when I first owned this hotel. We had to switch all the mattresses out. One of the policies of owning a hotel, you get contracts called PIP list. It's like what you sign with the franchise of things that you need to do in order to be with them, to keep their brand standard, right? Okay, you don't need all that. But anyway, so this furniture guy, he brings me stuff, right? And after that, like, there's other stuff that I want, because at that time I had no idea how to save money. I just thought buy new stuff and people will come. Like, didn't understand how to be a business owner yet. So what happened was, I remember we needed some what's it? Not hangers. We needed dry cleaning stuff. God, I can't believe I forgot that. I'm talking about little board, and then you get the little steamer. I'm sure you know now. Sometimes words get out of my brain. But anyways, I remember I went to go pick that up. And then something happened where I guess I talked too much, like out of boasting, say, hey, I'm gonna need a lot of stuff, man. So yeah, let me come buy these stuff off you. And so, but then to him, he sells in masses, right? So I think this is what happened, if I remember correctly. So I kept boasting, say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna buy a lot of stuff. But then at the end, I was only gonna buy like a small trinkle. I think it was like less than 1,000 it would have been or something. And to him, who sells, like, makes deals from 20 to 40 to 50 to thousands of dollars, like, that means nothing to him. So I think his tone of voice is very confident. He's a very confident man, and he's older than me. And I believe he's way stockier now, but crazy, huh? Years passed, but man, he's just a bigger white guy than me, older than me, and I'm a young businessman. I have my own pride and arrogance, and at the time I'm fit too, and I got my own pride, and we get into it because I guess he thought I was gonna buy a lot, and because I'm not, I guess he must have dropped his tone with me and thought I was a nobody, and I wasn't nobody. But my arrogance at the time, as being a young business owner, kicked in, and then we started fighting, like verbally, right? And then I remember we texted each other and we cussed each other out, right? Now, years later, the hardest time of my life comes. The last 2 years has been the worst time of my whole entire life. I'll be honest with you. And I think about him casually, but I forgot. I just know that at that point I was like, I know that me and him, we don't click, but I forgot what happened. but I need to sell some of these bunk beds I have at my hotel because I was doing farm workers, and I need to revert it back to a regular hotel instead of having bunk beds in my rooms, okay? So I have all these bunk beds to sell, and I'm like, man, well, he might be able to do something, but like, I just remember I did not like the guy. But you know what? God just made me put down my pride, and I remember when you're about to lose everything. I remember, dude, I have no high school degree. I have a GED. I might have been a manager a couple places at my dad's own places, and I worked at warehouses at McDonald's and all this low jobs, right? So I realized that I'm gonna be nobody if I lose this business. I could literally work back at Panda Express or something like that, you know? So I put my pride down, and I was like, you know what? Might as well call him. So I called him. I said, hey, what's up, brother? I don't know if you even remember me, but you delivered mattresses to me a long time ago. He said, yeah, I remember you. All right. And then he's like, okay, hey. And I said, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, I think I didn't say anything else because he just let it go. So I just said, well, I got some bunk beds. Do you want them? And he said, yeah. Send pictures over to me. And we hung up, and I sent pictures to him. And then all the messages. Oh my gosh. Yo, so I actually found the text messages, man. Anyways, hey, I'm getting better at TikTok. So, like I said, I try to be honest. So look at the conversation, really. So before I'm about to text this guy, the bunk beds, I see this message, right? Look at it. It's not that good, you know? This is what he says to me. And of course, you know, my arrogance is showing pretty good. And then, of course, he says the great F-bomb to me. And then I said, how mature, fun guy, haha. And then you could just see my young arrogance in my 20s. Goodbye, blocked your name. I'll let all the other, I meant hotel owners know. Now, I saw that before I sent him the pictures, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, dang it. Like, I finally found somebody to take those bunk beds, and nobody would take these bunk beds. I paid a lot of money for them. And when I saw those text messages, I was like, oh, dude, this is over with, dog. It's over. But I talked to God, and I said, you know what, God, it is what it is. And God says, well, you know what, you call him and you be humble. So I called him, and I said, hey man, before I send these pictures over, I just noticed our old conversation, and we did not end good, our relationship. And I told him, I said, hey, it's probably my fault because I was in my upper 20s and I was very arrogant at the time. So I want to apologize before I send these over. And you see the text message that I see. And he said, no, don't worry about it. I was surprised, actually, because honestly, he does have a lot of pride in him. But, you know, he's a big guy, and he worked his butt off for his business. So I can see that. But it's not a personality type that I really connect with, you know. But anyways, I also had a lot of pride back then. But I just was so shocked. And I said, are you sure? I was like, hey. And I said, okay, cool, man. Like, thank you. And then we moved past. And honestly, it's been a blessing. Me asking for forgiveness to him. And then he just letting it go. Honestly, I still think it could have been said for him to me. But you know what? I forgave him. And that's all done in the past. And honestly, it's been a blessing working with him, you know, for what I needed him for. He took most of all my bunk beds, and he gave me all my new furniture in my motel is by that homie. You know, so shout out. I can't shout you out because I don't want to be blasted online. But all this to say, man, be careful what you say with your mouth in confidence, because bad things can happen. People will take you by your word, and they'll snare you. He snared me. And for many years, I could have used him, because he sells things for cheap. Because what he does is he goes to hotels and motels like Hilton's and other motels that are selling out or need to get rid of because they have to get rid of all their furniture, but their furniture is still good, right? And he gets them for cheap because he basically just takes them for free because it costs the hotels more to dump them, and to sell them is a hassle, okay? I know you guys are thinking, well, why don't the hotels sell? It don't work that way. Some hotels try to, or some hotels just give it away because it's too much of a hassle to take all those mans and payroll hours to remove those stuff. It's a hassle, baby. Anyways, I know we only got to a couple verses, but there's my little story, and there's some books of wisdom from Proverbs by Solomon, man. Hopefully that story was entertaining and it helped you out. And man, I am learning how to use TikTok, baby. I'm 34, baby. 3-4. And I'm about to be 35 in January, baby. Oh man, I'm getting old. Anyways, blessings in this morning. Y'all have a blessed one, and I hope to see y'all again soon. Chocopie.